Hey guys, just thought I'd do a quick little video of a recent eBay score that I got. Um, I don't really know how to feel too much about these 8020s yet, but this 27 I've been wanting to get a 27. It's just a classic old Fluke meter, practically indestructible. All five of these were sold as broken. I've kind of played around with them a little bit, and it looks like the 27, the only problem I see with it is a dim screen, which is an easy fix. If this video doesn't take too long, I'll probably go ahead and tack on the repair of that onto the end of it. These 8020s, it looks like three of them are functional. The fourth one, I don't remember which one it is. Looks like it's going to be pretty much toasted, but I think it'll work out perfect for salvage parts to kind of fix some of the other issues with some of these other meters. And I think out of it, we'll get a good 27 and three good 8020s. Just not sure what I'm going to do with them afterwards, but I know the 27 I'll probably actually throw in my outside toolbox that I roll around the shop with, just as having a tough meter, just one that you can't kill. So let's I think we'll go ahead and get on the repair of this 27. Pretty excited about it. Get to finally see what they're all about. All right. Figured I would save y'all the boringness of disassembly. It's pretty simple. I figured I'd do a little voiceover instead, give that a shot. A few key points to remember while you're taking this thing apart is that you have to remove the battery connector from the little battery compartment or else it'll get stuck. It's just 4 screws on that and then 4 screws on the other one to actually take the back cover of the meter off. To take the PCB off, it's real important to remember that there's that pin header connection at the top, so you can grab the PCB at the top of the meter on the display side and just kind of wiggle it just a little bit, and it'll come right on out most of the time unless it's stuck in there. After that, it's 6 screws that actually hold the display PCB into the meter itself. Take those out and you get the PCB out, and the LCD is right there ready for you to work on. So let's go ahead and get back to that. Alrighty, so we've reached the point where we can access the LCD, and the offenders are going to be right under here, these little pink strips. They're just little elastomer connections, and over time they actually work by the screen being slightly compressed and touching on some pads that I'll show you in a second that conduct electricity, make the little things, all the ones and zeros happen. But over the years they get a little bit loose and just they don't make as good a contact as they should, and a lot of times that's what will cause those screens to go bad. So let's see about getting to these. They all use different little tricks to hold themselves down, but we'll check this one out and see if we can get into it. Ah, it just pulls off. It must have had a little bit of adhesive on there. You don't want to lay this directly onto any hard surface, so keep it on a little cloth. And first things first, what I like to do, just isopropyl alcohol, what is it, 93% on this one. Get a clean rag, pour a little bit on there, and then we're just gonna make sure that these pads are nice and clean. In newer model meters, Fluke actually uses gold-plated pads just like their range switches, and they're not prone to corrosion. This one doesn't look corroded, so we'll just give it the alcohol rub down. And then we'll actually do the same thing to these elastomeric pads, or some people call them zebra strips, which is actually easier. Just a little rub down just to clean them. Just to prepare it for the next step. Now, a lot of people may disagree with this step, but it's a cheap, effective way to do this. The best way is to replace these strips. But if you take a little bit of, it's actually a conductive grease, and just put a little bit on there. This is actually a lot right now, but we'll go through several steps of wiping it down. Actually, go ahead and remove this. And what we're doing is actually depositing a little bit of conductive material on top of those little bitty pads. You probably can't even see them in the camera. And that's going to help make contact with the PCB a little bit better. And you just go and you just want a little bit on there, not much at all. I always like to do this first, and if it doesn't work, then I'll go ahead and replace the zebra strips, just to, because this is free, and that's what this channel is all about, is cheap multimeters. And fix them. And just keep on adding a little bit on there. And that actually looks really a little too thin right now. Keep on flipping the rag over to get that clean part of it for wiping. Oops. If it comes loose like that, don't freak out, because I need a little bit of, take a little bit of alcohol and clean this up. But the keeper kind of holds them in place too. And by the way, if my bench looks a little bit bigger, because I reorganized things and I'm in a different area now, and There's a lot more room. That looks very good. Okay. Let's see if it'll work. Let's see if we can figure out which way is the top and bottom on this thing again, because I have already forgotten. Okay, here we go. I think I can see the bar graph along the bottom here. Okay, so that means that we will roll it this way to install it. Oops. I'll probably go ahead and place that with some tweezers to make it a little bit easier. Here we go. Go ahead and give it a firm little push just to make sure that it's set nicely. Set your buttons in place so you don't have to wrestle with those. That is my phone going off. And we should hopefully be good to go. I'm wondering, I see a 1984 copyright on here. What generation of the 27 this would be? Because I believe there were 3. There was one that was all gray, like a lot of Fluke's meters, the 87 and all. And there was another one that was yellow with just a gray front. And then there's this one, which is all yellow. But make sure none of the pins are bent before you go and stab that back in place. And stab it very carefully. Make sure that everything is lining up. No wires are going to get pinched. Feels like something is off. There we go. And then you want to apply pressure directly over the header and maybe just kind of alternate left to right to get it to drop in. Screws for these sections, I believe, were right here, if I'm not mistaken. pulls down on that a little bit. Have to keep reminding myself to keep the meter in frame. So used to working things really close to my body. But you can't do that if you want people to see it. No particular reason that I'm doing a kind of figure 8 torque pattern on this thing. More or less just force of habit of other things that I take apart and put together. Really may have to do that one day and show you guys what I do for a living. It's pretty fun. Okay, let's go ahead and give it a try. Awesome. By the way, this won't have a before picture because sometimes I suck a little bit and don't film everything because I'm kind of impatient to do things. And I'm doing this wrong right now, aren't I? Yeah. Place that O-ring in this groove. Be a lot simpler. Okay. Let's that's upside down. Let's get this thing stabbed back together. Maybe don't take my rag with you. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with all these meters because I'm starting to get pretty populated on all of everything that I need. I've actually been overpopulated on everything that I need. So, some of them I think I'll resell. Not really to make a profit, but to at least break even so that this hobby can be self-supporting. I honestly don't expect this channel to reach heights of ever being profitable through YouTube, which honestly I think YouTube is trying to kind of cut things like that out. Which is fine if they want to make money and all that stuff themselves. You know, you can't fault anybody for that. But I really think that if I can get my money back on some of these meters that I'm fixing, it'll be well worth it, because then I can buy more meters to fix. I'm really not sure if this commentary is going to be in the video or not. also think that silence is not fun for people watching videos. It's fine for me, maybe not for y'all. Okay. Why don't we do a little function testing? Got it hooked up to my power supply right now. And it is set to, let's get 5.03 volts. 5.05, that is not bad at all. 5.04, 03. 06. Try to get it to about 10. 9.98. Perfect. Let's see if we can get to 20. 20.4742. Yep, right on. And 30. 30.1. Yeah. Perfect. That is very impressive. I think that'll be all the function testing we'll do for now. That was all I was really worried about on this meter was the screen, and that is obviously fixed. So maybe I'll do a little bit more cleaning up on it, and we'll see what happens with this thing.